Hi everyone, Chris with Dale Carnegie, here with Taylor Clark with Brandovators. He's going to tell you a story about someone that he was able to help.
I have a client of mine that I've been working with pretty much since day one of my running a web design and marketing business.
How many years was that?
It's been about 6 years, I think, as an independent consultant. Started working with him. He came to me originally just starting an urgent care clinic. He needed a website, just wanted to get something quick, easy, and throw it up there. Started his clinic, website was up, everything was going well, and he more or less had some initial issues getting clients through the door. So maybe 3 or 4 months down the line after this website had been up, I had him come to me looking for some help just to get people through the door. He had really no idea how he was going to go about doing it. Just wanted to hear some ideas that I might have had. And what we started doing initially, we started running some ads on Google. We had set him up with just real small budget, just some locally targeted ads that were really just hitting the Baton Rouge area, and just threw it out there to see what it would do for him. We ended up running those ads continuously as they started generating more and more business, and just gradually increased that budget and saw a tremendous amount of success from it, and kind of kept going forward from there. We started setting them up with local business listings on Google, on the yellowpages.com, Yahoo, and Yelp specifically, and just kept getting his name out there on all these different networks to start putting him in front of people that were using these services. And that one clinic that he set up was successful, but he ended up moving. And moved from Baton Rouge, went to Florida, did the exact same thing. Stayed in Florida for a little while, opened up a new clinic, did the exact same process, started generating leads, started generating business. He uprooted himself and went and did it all over again. Moved himself to California to start another clinic. This is kind of where he's stuck from this point forward. Been there the last few years and started one clinic pretty much right when he got there. We again repeated this process.
You mean this is where he stayed?
This is where he stayed.
Right, not that he
not stuck in the process of getting more leads or anything like that. But no, this is where he's stuck in one place for more than a year or two. So again, we repeated that same process, and this is kind of where we began hitting it harder. We looked at his website. Each one of these clinics that he was setting up, we built a new website for. We had to set up a complete online presence for, and we did this for both clinics in California before they ever even opened. We made sure that the website was online. We made sure that this website was chock full of information for any possible question that his potential clients might have. And again, a way for them to get in touch with him without even having to look around for the information. Started out with an optimized website. We then took it to getting his ads set up to where they were running in the specific areas around his clinic, to where they were targeted during office hours to make sure that they were hitting the people that could come right when they needed them. Address was listed on Google, phone number was listed on Google, even shared his Google Plus business listing. Sharing all the information possible just from these ads. And again, we kind of hit it hard with Yelp, and we hit it hard with the yellowpages.com, and set him up with every possible area to generate leads that people might be trying to find him on.
What was the overall result of his business? To what degree does he rely on his online presence?
His online presence, with this clinic specifically.
The California one?
The first one he did in California, right. Online marketing was really all he did. He had a physical location, he had a sign up, we put out some, we designed some ads for print and local magazines to kind of generate a little business that way. But the majority of the leads that he was getting were online. We knew it worked. We knew it had worked in Florida. We knew it had worked in Louisiana. So, you know, it was a tried and true method for him. He was really behind it at this point. You know, and we kept on going with it. We set him up, and that clinic to this day is still open. It is still generating a lot of new business for him, so much so that he was actually able to go and start a second clinic, you know, certain, I can't remember the distance away, but not too terribly far off for his wife to run. So now they've each got their own because, you know, his first one had been so successful. And again, with that new one, they were in a very, very highly competitive area. There was a business that was almost identical in name, not but a few blocks down the road, that they knew when they started, people aren't going to know the difference between us online or in print advertising or wherever we may be because the names are so similar. So we started out again with that one online, making sure that there was a noticeable difference between these two businesses, so that second clinic could be up and running. And I can tell you with that second clinic that they set up, we did everything before the business launched well in advance to make sure that that name was out there and it was known before the clinic even opened.
Right.
People were calling the number before the business was even open because we had that number online.
Okay, so that is a great story. Now let's talk about the simple lesson or strategies involved there. And we were talking at length before we shot this video, and one of the things Taylor mentioned was that people will often, when small businesses try to start creating an online presence and try to make it profitable for them, it'll be a project that they start and never finish. They'll start one part of it and it's not successful, so they'll give up on it. But what Taylor's talking about here was an entire marketing process, a whole strategy together. And if you don't have the whole thing, then what typically happens?
It's bound for failure. You know, people are less likely to keep paying for a method of advertising or keep putting effort into a project if they're not seeing what they wanted to see come out of it. A lot of people will go out there and reluctantly pay, you know, whether it's a few $100s to their little brother to design it or a few $1,000s to a big company to design it. They'll go out there, get a website, and leave it there. They'll do nothing.
And you also mentioned the way people are slow to adopt this online marketing strategy, but they are still holding on to old school methods of advertising like TV and radio, billboards, and you mentioned the cost difference between those two. Between what you do and between
right there are a lot of people out there who are resistant to moving towards, you know, internet marketing, and there are a lot of tried and true methods out there that to this day for certain businesses, you know, TV, radio, newspaper may work. It depends on the demographic that you're working with. But internet marketing specifically, people are resistant to it mostly because they don't know a lot about it. They don't know that they can actually generate leads on Facebook, or their website can actually be a source of information and new content that can generate interest from their customers. The biggest selling point really for me, and what kind of gets people to pay attention, is, you know, those customers, those clients of mine that I've worked with that are, you know, still running ads in the yellow pages that aren't seeing any real leads from it and are still paying thousands of dollars to do it. When you tell them that, you know, for maybe a couple $100 you could be running some ads on Facebook and actually tracking and seeing these leads, it's almost a no-brainer. You know, you don't want to shell out thousands of dollars a month to see no results in the end.
Right.
You know, so it's a whole new area of generating business that a lot of people just, they don't know enough about to want to do it.
Right. So really the moral of the story here, folks, is this online marketing thing. It's a real thing. It's not a myth. You have to find someone who really knows what they're doing, who really has the track record of really helping people to set up a real marketing strategy, and it has to be it has to be an ongoing effort. You can never stop evolving online, and online advertising or online marketing is it's there's just a lot of room for success, especially in Baton Rouge, I think, and it's just time. It's a matter of finding the right expert who can help you, because it's something that most people just don't understand. So, if you have questions, this is going to be posted on the Baton Rouge Small Business Group, LinkedIn site, LinkedIn group. It is open for discussion. I'm sure you probably have plenty of questions that you want to ask Taylor, and there's some marketing resources that he's told me about, that suggestions and things. So if you have questions, just leave comments, or just contact him directly and send him a message. What is your website?
Website is brandovators.com. It's brandovators.com. You can also reach me on Facebook, facebook.com/brandovators. Great way to get in touch with me as well.
Okay, everybody. I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.